Grant Cardone is wrong. You do not want to rent your house, you want to own your house, and you want to house hack that house. Sorry guys, that was a bit clickbaity, but I wanted to try something out. I see some YouTubers trying this style of video. I actually disagree with Grant Cardone that renting is the best thing you can do. That's not true in every market, and I'm gonna talk to you about why. House hacking. House hacking is the ultimate. It is the cornerstone of frugality. What is house hacking? So house hacking is taking a house and turning it into a cash flow machine wherein you live in the property, but you get paid to live in the property. So house hacking is you take a house, you rent out unused portions of that house. So say spare bedrooms, if it has a basement suite, you rent that out. If it has a guest house, you rent that out. You buy properties that have the best vision for creating cash flow. And you use that cash flow to fund your living expenses. I have been house hacking since I was 19 years old. House hacking is the ultimate way to reach financial independence. People spend roughly 35% of their overall expenditure, their overall budget, 35% is spent on housing. That is a ton of money you can free up, a ton of cash flow you can begin investing if you go ahead and house hack. So what do you do to house hack? You buy a property, and I think you buy an underutilized asset. So you find, say, a 3-bedroom house, you convert it to a 5-bedroom house, and you rent out 4 rooms to friends, or put an ad on Craigslist and find the right roommates. And essentially those folks create enough income that they cover through the rent that they're paying you. They cover your entire mortgage, all your property taxes, your insurance, all of the utilities in the house, and oftentimes there's money enough left over to cover things like your entire food costs to live in the property. Sometimes even there's enough money to pay for your cell phone and your transportation. In fact, when I was house hacking at 19 years old, I used it to help fund my tuition. I was able to graduate debt-free with a degree in finance and accounting. So you can do that too. You can use house hacking if you're 19 years old to get through university debt-free. If you're just discovering house hacking now, and maybe you're 35 years old and you have a family, hey, I have a 2-year-old daughter and a wife, and we house hack right now in this duplex. I live in a 3-bedroom bungalow, and I have a huge backyard. I have a tiny house I rent out on Airbnb, and I have a 2-bedroom apartment with a separate entrance that I rent out. So I'm bringing $1,000 a month from the lower unit that covers my entire mortgage, and the tiny house covers all my utilities, property taxes, and insurance. So I live for free in an amazing 3-bedroom bungalow. I wish I could show you guys, but the camera's fixed. In a future tour, I'm gonna give you a tiny house tour of my tiny house, and I'm gonna give you a tour of my crib. I'll give you a cribs tour so you can get a feel for what it's like to house hack and how good the lifestyle can be house hacking. I have stainless steel appliances, quartz counters. It's a beautiful house. I've soundproofed it so that I could jump on the floor right now and the sound doesn't transfer between units. So you can live a luxurious, awesome lifestyle by finding the right property that will house hack for your situation. And that's how you get ahead. That's the biggest thing. That's what Grant Cardone's missing. But his main point is that, and there's some merit, a lot of merit to what Grant Cardone's saying. Actually, I like a lot of what Grant Cardone has to say. And specifically, I like what he's talking about with most homeowners don't come out buying a property from an investment perspective. They don't think about it as Johnny cash flow, focusing on cash flow. They aren't thinking about arbitrage opportunity of how do they renovate this property to maximize cash flow, or what's my exit strategy? Can I sell this house for a profit? Am I buying this house with an investor mindset? And the truth is, house hacking turns that decision process into making your house buying experience one for profit motive. So that, at the end of the day, it's a cash flow motive. It creates the ultimate, right? And people are gonna say, the objection naysayers out there are gonna say, well, Mike, you can't house hack in Vancouver, New York, LA, Toronto, whatever. That's not true. You can house hack anywhere in the world. It works better in smaller geographic areas outside of major metropolitans because house prices are much lower. Look at rent versus buy calculators. Renting can be a lot more favorable in Toronto, Vancouver, and those places. That's true. I don't know if I would own real estate in those major metropolitans. I also wouldn't want to live in those areas. The cost of living is so disgusting, I just couldn't even swallow it. Even as a millionaire, I wouldn't want to live there. I've been a ton of times to Toronto, Vancouver, New York. I've been to those cities and spent a good amount of time in them. It's just not for me. I like a city that's a bit smaller, a bit more of a family-orientated feel. But that's neither here nor there. it can work. You could use Airbnb to rent out spare bedrooms. You could buy a property that has a lot of bedrooms or a lot of extra space that's designed for cash flow. You're not buying a condo that's a 1-bedroom or 2-bedroom condo to make this strategy work. You're ideally buying 4 or 5 bedrooms or a duplex, triplex type scenario. Duplex living's awesome. If you get a semi type of living, that's awesome. Just creating that win-win for everyone where you're able to live mortgage-free essentially with a mortgage. So getting your living costs down is the cornerstone. It is the most awesome thing. I've been doing it for a long time. I'm doing it now with a family. It's totally doable. We enjoy our lifestyle, and I wouldn't have it any other way to unlock financial independence. Would you rather work your whole life to have a bigger house, or would you rather have the freedom to do whatever you want for the rest of your life, but darn, you have to live in a 3-bedroom bungalow with a tenant in the lower, or in your dream house, but with a tenant beside you, or in a guest house? It's a small, tiny little bit of inconvenience that pays off huge dividends. If you compound it over your life, it's millions of dollars in savings. I've added up what it would cost me to live the replicated lifestyle without house hacking. I'm gonna have about $5 to $10 million more by the time I get to retirement because I've chosen to house hack. It is the single best financial decision you can ever make, house hacking. Yeah, that's all I gotta say. Doesn't matter what the price of the properties do. If you're living for free, you can't lose. That's the ultimate. So yeah, check out house hacking. I wrote an article, I'll link it in the bottom of this video in the description section. I wrote an article on a guide to house hacking on my blog, 25andfree.com. That'll give you some of the overview on how do you pick the right area, what type of property are you looking for, how do you actually close a property, what are the steps. One thing I'm gonna leave you with is that everyone I've worked with, and I've worked with some friends of mine in my network to get them to house hack, and I've watched them go from renters to house hackers, or even homeowners who sold their bulky house that wasn't, house hackable and bought something that was really a cash flow machine. Everyone that I've seen become a house hacker, all of them are better off financially than they were before, and significantly. And in fact, most of them get a taste of real estate and how great it can be, and they build those skills and realize how easy it is to create cash flow, that they start buying other rental properties. So I would say, once you have a taste of how good it can be through house hacking, it's a nice way to get a taste of real estate and see if it's for you. And oftentimes it leads to, it's like a gateway drug to getting into real estate investing. And real estate investing, as you guys know, from my channel and from what I've talked about, you can get triple-digit returns, 100% return on your money with real estate investing. So super awesome. Check out my videos where I talk about how you make money with real estate investing. You can be a Johnny Cashflow persona, focus on cash flow. You can be an Annie Arbitrage, who's creating forced appreciation and equity and renovating below market value. Or you can be a Susie speculator. And that's like people in buying for no cash flow in Toronto, Vancouver, those places. In every area, you can be a Susie speculator. You're just relying on conditions you can't control. So market conditions, market appreciation. I start with Johnny Cashflow, then I become an Annie Arbitrager, and lastly, I sort of say it'd be nice to be in this area because I think long-term it might appreciate better than other areas, but you can't be a Susie speculator and rely on that to make money in real estate. So I'm getting on a tangent, but check that video out if you're interested in investing in real estate, because that is a cornerstone of making it work as a house hacker. So house hacking is awesome. Keep your expenses down. It's how I live for, net like $500 a month, gross like $2,000 a month. It's an awesome way to live with my family of 3. We enjoy our lifestyle. We can travel whenever we want. I can do 10 trips a year. It's just an awesome lifestyle. So anyway, if you enjoyed this video, guys, when I get to 1,000 subscribers, I'm gonna start giving away to commenters. I'm gonna do at random free coaching opportunities. So I'm gonna give you the most valuable thing that I have, and that's my time and my expertise. I'm gonna give that to you guys at random if I get to 1,000 subscribers. So please like, share, and subscribe, and then comment on my videos, because that's gonna give you a chance to have a little bit of coaching with me. I would love to hear about your situation and offer some advice. And also, please hit me up if you guys are interested in learning a little bit more about certain topics. If you wanna see me write a video on X or Y, let me know. I just did a video on, the other day on appraising fundamentals. So how do you get a good appraisal? And I did that because someone commented in a video and asked me, how do I get a good appraisal? Thanks guys, cheers.